September 9th, 2025. The night sky over Doha breaks apart. Explosions ruin the calm. Then come reports of smoke, chaos, and an angry statement from Qatar's government. It called the attack cowardly and criminal. Then a surprising announcement: Israel admitted it carried out a bold attack. It hit the top leaders of Hamas in the middle of a country that was trying to make peace. This is the story of the operation called Summit of Fire. But this story didn't start with an explosion. To understand that night, we need to look at what led up to it. For over 10 years, Qatar had a difficult job. Since 2012, it allowed Hamas to have a political office there. The US often quietly supported this to keep lines of communication open. This made the small country the main negotiator, handling everything from aid for Gaza to difficult hostage deals. At the same time, Israel said Qatar was giving a safe place to the group responsible for the October 7th attacks. The plan for Summit of Fire started after that day. Israel made a serious promise to hunt down Hamas leaders anywhere in the world. This wasn't just a military attack, it was a strong message. The Israeli military said it was a precise strike. It targeted the men they say planned the October 7th attacks from their comfortable homes abroad. Israel's prime minister was very clear. His office said, Israel started it, Israel did it, and Israel takes full responsibility. This was not a quick decision. The military said they used exact information and special weapons to keep civilians safe. But we know the buildings were hit, not who was inside. That's the real mystery, not what weapons they used, but how they knew. How did they find the exact time and place in a city with high security? The answer suggests an amazing intelligence operation that destroyed any feeling of safety the Hamas leaders had. The reaction was fast and angry. Qatar's foreign ministry was furious. It called the strike cowardly, criminal, and a clear breaking of all international laws. It wasn't just anger. Qatar was saying Israel attacked a separate country during peace talks. The attack immediately created doubt about whether Qatar could continue to help make peace. It threatened the only way to calm things down. The effects spread quickly. The US Embassy in Doha told its workers to stay inside for safety. The place where the attack happened was also very important. Qatar is not just a place for talks, it is also home to Al Udeid Air Base. That's the biggest American military base in the Middle East. The attack on Hamas happened right next to America's most important base in the area. This attack started a dangerous new phase. By hitting Hamas in Qatar, Israel broke the unspoken rules of the fight. For years, there was a tense but working agreement. Qatar would help with talks, and Israel, even while complaining, let it happen. That delicate situation is now broken. So why now? Why would Israel risk making a key peacemaker angry and worrying its strongest friend, the United States? It seems there are two messages. First, a scary warning to every Hamas leader: you are not safe anywhere. Second, a message to the world: Israel is determined to take Hamas apart and will not be stopped by talks. But the possible price is terrible. Removing Qatar as a negotiator could end all hope for any hostage deal. It could even have the opposite effect. People might support Hamas more if they see the attack as an attack on peace itself, not just on fighters. One attack has changed this conflict. It has broken old friendships and created new, dangerous situations. This story is happening right now, and we will be here to explain it all. To see what happens next, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. The effects of Summit of Fire are now spreading from Doha through the Middle East and around the world. Israel has shown it can reach far and is very determined. But by doing this, it has entered a new, unknown situation. An operation meant to damage Hamas may have also damaged the only path to peace. We are now in an unstable new situation with one big question. Will this be remembered as a smart attack that destroyed a terror group's leadership, or a risky move that started a much bigger war? We want to know what you think. Tell us in the comments below.